Howdy, friends and neighbors and newbies and long timers. Long time no see. Just took a break over the holidays, pretty much from, well, not a break from working. Been doing plenty of that, but a break from doing the video aspect of it or the editing. But yeah, and a lot of it is that I've been working on certain aspects of a project, like my shower, but it's still kind of a little ways from being finished, so I didn't want to like put out half that video. So can't put out a video for that until it's all the way done. And then just doing more drywall, finishing up in the front of the house, putting up fence. So they're not done. So not going to put a video, at least, I've done where I've broken up videos into segments, but I haven't gotten through a major part of it yet. So that's why we haven't putting those out. But plus, this time of year, do a lot of TV watching and hibernating. So, little of this, little of that for excuses. So anyway, hope everybody had a good holiday season and a good start to the new year. Doing all right here. Can't wait for spring when the days get longer and the sun starts coming out. But hasn't been a bad winter out here in the Northwest. Lots of rain, but warmer than usual, which is pretty interesting. But anyway, back to the subject at hand here. So this here is the bump out section. Just trying to get all the drywall done here so we can feel like the living room's done, because I spend most of my time in the living room here watching TV and in the kitchen and whatnot. So I want to make it feel a little bit less like a construction zone. And we got to get this done so then we can work on the front bedrooms. So although I'm trying to make it not feel like a construction zone, I got to put all my tools in this bump out section so I can work on the front rooms. And hard to not feel like it's a construction zone when all your tools are sitting right in front of your face. But yeah, getting back at it here. So I learned the hard way here. Don't cheap out on your hanging of drywall. That little 1 foot section there is like, all right, I got a piece here and it only makes it halfway or 3/4 of the way under the window. I'll get a scrap piece and save a full sheet for somewhere else and put a piece here, puzzle piecing it together. And at the time, it made sense when you're just hanging the drywall before you start mudding and all that good stuff. Yeah, you're like, I'm saving a few dollars. Then when it comes time to do this right here, putting the mud and the tape up, you realize, oh yeah, the less seams, the better. A, for just time, and then, mud it ain't free. It's pretty dang cheap, so I guess I'd rather spend a few more cents on mud than a few dollars on another sheet of drywall. But when you got I think they're butt joints maybe, where the indent in the drywall matches up on the other one. So those are pretty easy to level out. Not a huge deal, because you just put the mud in there, put the tape down, and then you have space to put more mud on top and then level it out without having to feather it out. But these sections here, this is where you don't want to cheap out, because now instead of just having that one section where I have to feather out, the one next to it I got to feather out as well. So if I would have taken a full piece of drywall and just cut section off to span that whole gap, I wouldn't have to spend another 20 plus minutes in mud and tape to feather it out and hopefully make it look good. And then you got to sand it, which is the hardest part, or the most tedious part. But hey, I guess in the end, my whole project is all about saving money and doing elbow grease instead, because I'm coming up on 5 years of owning this place and still got at least another year to go before I'm done, I imagine. But yeah, so this is how it goes. So learn from my mistake if you're just trying to save time and don't mind spending a little bit more money. Yeah, we'll get this done and we'll start doing some sanding. But again, I usually don't show the sanding much because it gets dusty and it's not good for the electronics. So all right, so yeah, it's that time to where the dust is too much. So we had to bring everything out of here. And I set up these 2 bio-containment bubbles here, and we're working on each section. And I wanted to close the whole thing off, but we got the heater unit there, and it's coming on the end of October, so it's starting to get a little too chilly to not have the heat on. And so we're just doing that. Once we get these 2 sections done, then we'll tape that up, bring it out here, and finish that off a little bit quicker, so I can actually have the heat off for a little while. Well, yeah, so we're working on that now. But yeah, just it wasn't too easy to keep all the dust out here, so we got some dust, as you can see here, but it's not as bad as it would be as if I didn't have those plastic drop cloths up. So we'll get in there and do some more work. All right, so here we are on this section of the bump out, and I've done a double layer on all the seams except for that corner bead, but I did level this corner bead out, so it's all good, and no gaps there, no rocking here. This one's really good. This one, there's a little space in there, but we'll just thicken up the skim coat on that section. Here, no rock in there, that's good. I think there's a gap here. No rock in there. I think there's a little rock and roll up here. Yeah, just a tad, not bad. I think there's another seam here somewhere. Let's check. I think right here. And it's not rocking, so that's good. And there's a seam here, a little bit of rock. Nothing major. And nothing there, so yeah, we'll just do a little bit thicker on the skim coats there to even that out. I think this is good. And I think I'll just do the skim coats too about right here, obviously, because then when we get rid of this plastic to do around the head unit, then we'll just take care of the rest and blend it all in, hopefully. Just a little bit of pancake batter left, so I'll bring this over to that section because I still have to do the second coat on the seams, so we'll use that. I have a new box that will mix up with a bunch of water to thin it up enough to do the skim coats, so we'll work on that. And before we do the skim coats on the other side, here's the far side, and I think there's a fair amount of rock on this one. Not too bad, but you can kind of see some of the tape through here, so I'm going to put another layer on and feather it out a little bit farther. Let's see, do I have one on this? It should be right about there. Oh yeah, there's a lot of rock on that one, so we got to feather that one out again. So I think I only did one, and this one's actually looking really good, so probably don't need to do another coat on that one. This one's looking pretty good too, actually, so one finished coat on those are good. Looking good here too. So I do need to finish feather, put a bunch here, feather this out to make the corner bead here look good. Yeah, so just the corner bead and down here and up there, and then this one will be ready. Or also on this corner bead I have to do the second coat, and then it's ready to go, but we'll do the front one first. And just when I say I don't show sanding, here's some sanding, but I guess I mainly just don't do when I do the final sanding on the finish coats on this coats that I'm putting on here, because that's when it gets a lot of sand in the air, dust. And I hadn't covered this up with the tarps yet, so there was a lot of free-flowing air, so that a little bit of dust can just go over all my electronics, so what the heck, why not the camera too? Anyway, here's the technique I've shown before, where I just use a big, really thick nap roller and put it on. Taught to me by my favorite drywall YouTuber, the Vancouver Carpenter. Which, funny name when he does mostly drywall these days, but I think he started out showing a lot of just overall construction stuff, finishing work and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, just get this wall done here, and then I kind of don't really go down the hall yet. I think I start on this corner of the TV wall. Yeah, this is kind of the fun aspect of doing the finishing of the drywall. It's kind of the artistic aspect of it to me, because you're just feathering it out and making everything flat, which I guess really isn't too artistic, but it's kind of more of an eye, the way you see it with your eyes. So I guess that is the artistic aspect I'm thinking of. Who knows? Anyway, here we got one corner bead we're putting on the corner there. Makes sense, corner bead on the corner. Yeah. So yeah, getting that stuck on there, and we'll get it dried up and move on to showing you the other sections that I'd put the finishing coats on. But I just thought I'd give you a little quick update on this corner as well. So then we'll move on to that and continue on. Okay, I'm the boy in the bubble here. Got it self-contained, so not everything gets crazy dusty. And we're gonna do some sanding because I got it all mudded up and it's been drying for a few days, so not gonna bring the camera in here to film it because it gets dusty in here. And you've seen me do that before, so I'll show you when it's all done. One of the satisfying parts when I'm done with one messy aspect of the job and we can move on from that. Anywhere, got plenty more of these to unveil, so we're still making lots of dust around here. But yeah, it's good to get rid of a lot of it and vacuuming it out from around my stereo equipment. Well, they will thank me very much. And then we'll show you how this all went on this corner here. And there we are. Got, well, for now, got this semi cleaned up, this section here. So I'd say we got, what is that? Almost half of it done. So yeah, got it blended in where I stopped previously into this section pretty well. Feels all right. This section right here feels like it dips a bit, so we'll probably have to do some adjusting here. And there's a couple spots here, but for the bulk of it, we got her done. This stuff doesn't matter because there's going to be trim piece here. And this may not even matter too because I'm going to have trim here, but I don't think it's going to be that wide. So I want to clean that up a bit. But yeah, all this stuff over here feels smooth. This doesn't really matter here because there will be trim there. But yeah, it seems all well and good in this section. I like. So I've got it all the way down to about right here. So we'll just do a little bit of sanding here, and then I'm going to cover up this section on that side of the heat head unit here, sand all that, and then, or we'll see if it's a warmer day. If I do it tomorrow or something, maybe I'll just tape this all off. That's probably what I'll do. Just tape this up and then sand all this and then bring the plastic all the way into here, which would be good. And then I can continue on this because I did get this section all the way to about right there. So yeah, tomorrow, if I can turn the heater off while I work for a few hours or an hour or whatever, however long it takes me to get this done. But yeah, I still have to put a little bit of mud right there. So this one will probably be a couple days from now anyway. So yep, looking good. And then unwrapping the second corner surprise over here. So yay for getting most of the bump out done for this step anyway. All right, and there we go. Just like that, we got this one done and cleaned up, rudimentary cleaning. And I didn't do the mud up in this section here because what I'm going to do is get a little piece of this stuff and put it here, maybe just a little section down just under here too, and then trim it up in this, just because it was just such a pain, putting the little pieces of drywall up there, and I didn't want to have to try to mud it and worry about everything getting in there, even if I taped it off. Just kind of a pain. And yeah, so I just figured we'll just put some little pieces of wood there and trim it up just to make it look finished. So anyway, we got that. Everything looks pretty good. Got a little close to, well, obviously hit the drywall here, but there's going to be trim here, so no big deal. There was just like a scratch here I was trying to smooth out, but all the other places where there's joints, I can feel a little bit of a bump right here. Not bad at all. Probably not noticeable. But yeah, everything worked out pretty well. And this, I thought I was going to have to do a bunch of mudding, but after sanding it a bunch, it looks pretty smooth. I can kind of feel a little indent, going like this right here. But I'm debating putting trim on these corners anyway. That'll go up and around here. So if I do, then it will be no big deal. So less work because we got it done, this far. Anyway, I'll primer it up and see what it looks like. And if it looks, wonky right there, then we'll put another coat on. And got all this smoothed out up here all the way down. Got it blended in good there. And then, it just trails off into that wall that we'll get done at some point. Yeah, so we got all this done, and then I get to sand that wall tomorrow. Maybe we'll see how sore I am. My arms are dead right now, but yeah, making progress. All right, yep, so we did get this done. So we encase this little wall over here in this ripped up plastic, and we'll see if it keeps the dust out of here as much as we can. Plenty of dust on the stereo equipment, so hopefully not too much more added on this side, but I'll get in there and tackle that and show you when it's done. And the final unveiling on this video anyway. So yep, just this front section by the door and kitchen, and then we'll look at that. All right, got this side sanded and cleaned, as it were. These are just marks from, it's primered right here. I did see that it looks like the tape is almost coming through here, so I might have to redo a little section here and feather it out a bit. And then this looks good up here, looks good down here, down over here. Got a little close to the drywall down here, but I think it'll be just fine. This corner will be hidden. But I didn't realize that I didn't even tape the two joints right here. So like when I put the mud on there, when I thought it was covering tape, I got some cracks and I was like, what? Why is it cracking? So when I started sanding it, I realized there's no tape there. So I had to sand it extra far, at least on, to level it out. This side exposes the drywall, that side doesn't because it went in, obviously. So it's flat there, so I'll put a piece of tape there, piece of tape there, and then feather it out. And then I've done enough sanding for a while, so we'll worry about that when I finish the mudding going down the hall here and here. I may finish this before I do that. But then again, if I finish this, I guess I should probably finish that. So who knows? I'll at least put the mud on here and there, and then maybe wait a week or two before I sand it because I am sore. So anyway, well, that's where we are right now, and I will start primering this side pretty soon. And then again, I might wait to primer this because like I said, I'll feather out here, and then I'll primer this side when I get those done. Maybe. We'll see. And then comes the final step, and the most satisfying one, because this shows that I don't have to be doing any more sanding, well, at least for the most part, and finishing, because this is covering that all, and then I can finally do a finish paint and call it good. Although the one part that's good about doing this drywall PVA primer is it will then finally really make some of the imperfections that may have happened during the finish coat pop out. So yeah, my level 5 has turned into more of a level 4.5 finish coat. But yeah, I think there's just a few areas on this section that where I was like, okay, I missed here. There's some bubbles here or indents here, and so we'll work on those at a later point. But at least we got the bulk of it done, and we can move on to the next stage in the process. Yeah, this video here is about almost done here. It's gonna end abruptly. But yeah, it's nice to get the primering done here, and then we'll move on into the hallway section. And I think the next video I might show will be the finishing of the trim on the ceiling in this area here. But I hope you all liked it. And if so, like and subscribe if you haven't done that, and share and all that good stuff so I can start making $1 million making these videos. Nah, just joking. It's nice to get anything from it. But anyway, take care, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.